I certainly hope you didn't own that. That's horrifying. He takes off his mask. I'm here to tell you that... Oh no. I'm light, he said, smiling. Normally, Ronald McDonald, a drugged Ken doll who was a scientist, had snuck through her window and injected lime with a smooth white substance.
Pause!
Red had some interesting wishes, one being about feet and toes. Then he roars the most beastly roar possible. It was a beastly roar. The kind of beastly roar that's beastly. So hello everybody, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica Laylah. And would you believe me if I told you I've never read fanfiction before?
What about this video?
Fuck me, he muttered. That doesn't count. That doesn't count because it was in an Instagram comment section, okay? That wasn't even fanfic. Yeah, I know a lot of people in my age group and younger are really into fanfiction. I was just never one of those people, even as a teen. I had a really hard time with cliches, and I didn't really like reading on a screen. I liked reading, like, physical books. I'm just not like other girls. So I thought that today it would be fun to not only read fanfiction, but to read some of the worst fanfictions I found on Wattpad. So there is a tagged section, you can look under specific tags, and I decided to look under bad fanfictions, and I think the majority of these were written to be bad on purpose. I, a couple weeks ago, tried reading My Immortal, which in case you don't know is a pretty popular, awful fanfiction. It's like a Harry Potter universe one, and I couldn't get through all of it. It was super long, and it just kept going on, and it's like supposed to be written really badly, but I just could not get through it. Well, Voldemort came, and then the freaking freak told me to freaking kill Harry. So I'm excited to see what's in store for me for my first fanfictions. So without further ado, let's just dive right in. So the first one we're gonna be reading is by Mushu Fishcat. And they wrote the fanfiction, My New Dad Shrek. A Shrek children's book. Timmy's papa left. Mommy has a new friend. My name is Timmy. My papa don't love me no more. He left Mommy. About 2 years after Papa left, Mommy started hanging out with other grown-ups. She called them boyfriend. Whatever that means. One day, Mommy brought over a man like no other. He was green, fat, and had strange ears. She called him Shrek. Sweetheart, this is Mommy's new friend Shrek, Mommy tells me cheerfully. Sure, eek? I ask. The name is weird. Honey, that is rude, she says. Relax, swamp flowers, I got this, the big green man tells me. Then he roars the most beastly roar possible. It was a beastly roar. The kind of beastly roar that's beastly. Ah! I cry, but he just laughs. So does Mommy. Honey, Shrek will be living with us for some time. This is my swamp, he yells. Where are all of my onion rings, I scream. No need to yell, Timmy. Mr. Shrek ate them, Mommy tells me. Did he? Cool. I sigh. By now I know not to take this personally. Mr. Shrek eats everyone's food, especially onions. Timmy! I need you to What? I need you to wax my feet! Shrek shouts. Dinner. I love dinner. Or I did, until Shrek. Sweet potato, will you pass the sweet potatoes, he asked. They giggle like the little girls at my school. I will, I tell him. I reach for the dish. His green grubby hands grab mine. No, these are mine, he tells me. He burps in my face. It smells so bad I cry. Mr. Shrek, I hate you, I finally snap at him. Him and Mommy go silent. Shrek has lived with us for 1 year. He proposed to Mommy in the living room. They got married a month later. Mommy said to call Mr. Shrek Dad. I said I would try. I still hate Shrek. I hate him because I think he hates me. I think this is our final part. Today is game day. I love baseball. I do pretty well. Then the game is over. We won! Dad, my real dad, is coming to get me. But he doesn't. Then it rains. A lot. I start to cry. Then a bolt of lightning flashes, and I see a shape in the distance. It's Shrek. He comes to me. Hey kid, I came to get you. Apparently Shrek has now become New York. He tells me, then hands me an umbrella. You did? I thought you hated me. No, I love you, Timmy. I'm hard on you because, well, I want you to grow strong, he says. Wow, I say in amazement. Yeah, he says, then rustles my hair. He never washes his hands, but I don't care. Hey, Shrek. Yes, I love you, I tell him. Then we walk into the sunset. That story was fantastic. I have never read something so good in my life. And actually, it wasn't horrible in comparison to some of the things I've read. Okay, so this next one is by @𝘚𝘠𝘰𝘮𝘍. And the story we're going to be reading is Fanfics with Rats. I don't know what that means, I'm a little scared. So one-shots, and each one-shot are about a different rat, and for privacy reasons, we are not using real names. Bibble is not my character, Ronald McDonald is not mine, Peppa is not mine, and Squidward is not mine. You're welcome, oh, and I don't own the art in any of the pictures used. I certainly hope you don't own that, that's horrifying. The one we're reading today is called Booty Claps. I know I haven't posted in a hot minute. Will be coming, but currently my wonky wacky mind is deciding that it feels as though Shrek is smashing through a wall of feelings, then throwing Donkey down and crushing my little bit of motivation into some pit that Bob Ross painted with the help of Einstein and his cousin, who is only an inch tall, so yee. I'm wrong too. Lazy to use punctuation, but please appreciate what weird words I've decided to bless you with on this very day, or from what... or from the forecast of a day that happened in ancient years. I'm gonna leave to go do more work and sob in my feelings and, I don't know, be tired. I don't know what that means. Red loved Mickey D's from McDonald's, so she went pretty often after work. She also went to McDonald's to look at the mascot of McDonald's, as she thought he was hot. Okay. Red's favorite color was conveniently red, and thought the red lipstick he wore made him look spicy. They were total opposites. He liked bright colors, she liked dark colors. He liked to be the center of attention, and she did not. Red had interesting pictures of Ronald taped to the walls of her bedroom. She wished to be acknowledged by him. There was only one Ronald McDonald in the whole world, and she wished he was hers. Red had some interesting wishes, one being about feet and toes, the other about pain. Why? I don't know. But life is great, and it's all fine and dandy. Red had a stable job and wanted to move on to the next step of her life. But currently Red was getting ready for bed, finishing up some paperwork for her job, then going to bed. The next morning she had a text from her boss about them getting a partnership from McDonald. Red was excited they asked for her to come in and meet people, so she got dressed in her work clothes and made sure her makeup was done perfectly. She quickly grabbed the keys and wallet off the table and ran out the door to start her car. She finally got to work and met up with her boss to get her instructions. Her instructions were to interview the businessman and the mascot. She was going to make her move and claim the man she always dreamed about. She was going to save the best for last and started with the businessman. When she finally made it to the end, she asked every question in the flirtiest way possible without going over the top. She also brushed her hand against his occasionally, trying to get the man to fall for her. The man was aware of the girl in front of him was hot and was flirting with him, a clown, a mascot of the fast food restaurant. Huh? Once the interview was over, the man who had a permanent clown face made his move. He asked the girl on the date. Red, being Red, of course said yes, telling him her feelings right then and there, and offered to cook a meal for him, and he could stay the night. Normally, Ronald McDonald would question Red's sanity, but it was obvious she was obsessed with him, so he said yes immediately. Red drove them to her place, and since Ronald was usually driven in the company van with others, it was the only option, and neither minded it. They finally got to the house. Red opened the door and invited him in. He sat at the bar and waited as Red cooked. Ronald loved Red's beauty, the way she moved and how nice she was, but with of sarcasm. He fell for her, but was soon pushed from his thoughts once a plate of food was placed in front of him, and the chair next to him was filled with the love of his life. They fell in love pretty fast. Throughout dinner, they flirted, and got to know each other more. Until they were finished, they put the dishes in the sink to worry about later. Red took him to her room to continue hanging out, but forgot about the picture on her wall. Oh my gosh. That's insane. Once Ronald walked inside and looked around, he fell deeper in love with the girl. Well, the girl was standing there embarrassed with her hands to her face.
What the fuck?
He grabbed her hands and softly confessed his undying love for her and kissed her. And that is when they ended up mashing together like mustard and ketchup on a hot dog, and the bed being the hot dog. Of course, protection was used, and they had a happy life getting married and adopting cats. The end. I'm gonna read their other story, Bibble from Barbie x Thicc Lime. I've never seen the movie with Bibble in it, but I know of the character. It's just this little freaky guy. What is lime? I don't even know what lime is! I'm imagining the lime lips. Lime always loved watching all the Barbie movies she could, even mimic some of their terrible laughs. But her favorite movie is 𝘠𝘓𝘗𝘗𝘠, where there is a puffball that reminds her of Sully from Monsters, Inc., but cuter. His name was Bibble. She fell in love with him at first sight. She rewatched and rewatched the movie over and over again. She longed for him and his fluffy little body to cuddle up into her side. That's so disturbing. After Lime finished fantasizing about how life could be, she went to sleep, not realizing her window was open. When Lime was sleeping, a drugged Ken doll, who was a scientist, had snuck through her window and injected Lime with a smooth white substance.
Pause!
Ken then proceeded to put her in a special casket with some rose petals at the bottom and was wet from something. The doll would then somehow bury the casket at a nearby tree that had what looked to be a small, colorful gem stuck in the tree of all different colors. Ken then left to go back to his dollar store Barbie package where he would wait to get bought.
Time skip to the next day!
It was now morning, and the sun was rising. It was a new day to fantasize and make interesting fan art that she would have to hide from her parents. Lime would sit up and realizing she wasn't home. She was in the middle of Magic Meadow. She had seen this many times in 𝘠𝘓𝘗𝘗𝘠. She looked around and saw it after the evil fairy attacked. It was like a dream come true. She pinched herself so hard that she started bleeding. She liked it. Whoa! She remembered she had a hot, wet, fuzzy puffball to find. These are not words I ever want to say out loud again. While Lime was wandering around, she saw a group of puffballs meeting. She waited for the meeting to be over, and she saw her sexy puffball calmly leaving until she called out to him. She waited too long to let him go now. Bibble! Lime would call in a panic. It was only them around, so she had been wondering for a while until the meeting, so it was getting late now. Bibble would look at Lime and only saw beauty. He was in shock this girl knew him. She called out for him. He quickly went over to the girl. It was getting late, but the moonlight enhanced the girl's beautiful features, so he didn't care. Hello. What is your name? He would say, in the most seductive voice he could. Lime was already drooling. His voice was so hot, she almost forgot to reply almost. My name is Lime. I've been looking for you for years. Would you mind giving me a place to stay for the night? She used her cutesy seductive voice she would use on old men to give her money, but saved her innocence to her only love Bibble. Bibble smirked. He lived on his own now. Lena left with the prince and her best friend. He just had to accept with that voice Lime used to. He just had to. Of course, who wouldn't want to help a beautiful girl like you out? Lime was so deep in love. Bibble grabbed her hand and rubbed it and guided her to his house. At Bibble's house, they finally made it to Bibble's house. He was ready. His blue eyes traveled the body of Lime, and him and Lime had a look in their eyes every person who liked physical love knew. And that is where we are ending it for now, because they are wetty spaghetti on a bed. The end. I read some words that I don't want to read again. Genuinely, I have nothing to say about that. I have nothing good to say about that, and nothing So this one is called Death Note, but I made it better. This is by Cam Pig 2. If you know nothing about this, this is an anime. It's about a guy who finds a death note, and then there's like this little god of death who follows him around, and he goes around killing people, basically. I love Death Note. I'm not really an anime person, but I loved Death Note when I watched it, so I get the feeling this is gonna ruin that for me. I was doing math class. Horrible start, I know, right? And then I saw a brown hair man. He stared at me and smiled. OMG, guys. The bell rang and I decided to follow him because I am perfectly stable. I followed him all the way home. He turned around and said, Ryuk, you son of a... No one is here. You were trying to prank me, mate. Stop laughing. What? I didn't know he was insane. I grabbed the knife out of my pocket. I think you know where this is going. I couldn't contain my laughter as I approached him. He looked at me and screamed, but I grabbed him and flew. I punched him, and it only took one punch to knock him out. I reached into his bag when I kidnapped him and touched Black Notebook. Big Pennywise looking man said, "Hi." I said, then fell to the ground. "A clown! It's the Twitter community!" He laughed and said, "Don't worry. I'm not a clown. I'm a Shinigami, aka Death God." Makes sense. At least I won't be killed by a clown, I respond. Light woke up and said, "Give me that." "Sorry, bro. Tell me the name and face of your sister, or I kill and ban." "How do I tell you her face?" "Shut up, idiot!" I started kicking him and then kiss him because I felt bad. He shows me a picture of her on 𝘠𝘊𝘆 and tells me her name. I smile and write down her name. And I start laughing and I say, "Beesh, your sister be dead." He began crying and kissed me and he said, "Babe, I love you, let's have baby." I said no and stabbed his while laughing. "You stupid, isn't he Pennywise?" I think I scared emo Pennywise because he flew away and he left me here to go insane, and I did. I went very insane. I kissed his oof body and laughed like an epic anime villain. I prepared who to kill next and killed criminals. "I'm going into O-Town and see me model. Mario!" I scream, but he looks scared. He pulls out the gun. I can't process this. I dodge each shot and grab my death knot. I write his name down and try to kill him. "Mikira!" I shout. He takes off his mask. "I'm here to tell you that..." "Oh no. I'm Light," he said, smiling. "Oh no!" "Beesh, you should be dead," I said. "Person you killed was Shrek in a cosplay," he said, crying. "No, this can't be. I killed Shrek, my love and future husband. I killed him? He's dead because of me? I just wanted to be here, and now I have made this world worse instead of better. This rotten war." Too long. Didn't listen. Light said and shot me. I was bleeding and crying. "Shrek, forgive me. I will see you in hell." I doubt it is worse than this trash anyway. I stood laughing because anime villain. Where am I? I was in the dark, an empty room. I searched around and there was only Ryuk. He laughed. "You go to nothingness, trapped by your own guilt, left there to think for eternity. You can't go many places. There's no one to talk to until you hallucinate, that is. This is your punishment for using the Death Note. Driven insane, not by L or Near or even Light. No, driven insane by you." Too long, didn't read, and he faded away. I sat there, staring into space, thinking of bad fanfictions. I started to laugh uncontrollably. Now I was truly insane. "I'm Joe," I said. "Heh, too long, didn't read," I replied to myself. Ryuk appeared. "Too hee heh, funny wapple." He snapped his finger, and I faded away. I woke up in the real world. I was sat there and my friend smiled. Are you okay? You have been unconscious for the past 40 minutes. I hugged him. I was so happy. He smiled and said, "I'm Shrek." I love how L didn't even appear throughout the entire story. I can't believe that plot twist at the end. I think I just dislocated my knuckle low-key. So yeah, I think that's where we're gonna cut it off for the night. Those were some interesting stories. So let's give a big round of applause to our authors tonight for providing us with the entertainment. So thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you all enjoyed, and hopefully I will see you all here next time.